Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Primetime Local News. We have a really exciting show for you today. We'll be live on location from the Legion for a very exciting fashion show tonight. And we're also talking, our question of the day is centering around U.S. politics, because today is a pretty major day, and I feel
busy down south.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Canadians have their eyes on these midterm elections. So if you would like to weigh in on our question of the day, you can do so on our Facebook or Twitter page. And then Gerard, obviously, on the agriculture beat.
Yeah, I mean, what else? I handed you the hot potato of weather, so I got something even hotter. Today we're going to talk about the future. We're going to meet some young ranchers, and yeah, we'll see how they fared at this year's Stockade Roundup.
All right, well, we look forward to that, but first we're going to toss it over to Brittany, who's down at the fashion show.
I am at the Legion tonight for the downtown fashion show, and as you can see behind me, the chairs are lined up and ready to go. This runway is where we are going to have a bunch of local models featuring many different fashions from around our community here in the border city. There is a tea that's going to be happening at 6 p.m. and the fashion show gets started at 6:30. So if you're looking to come down here, there are still some tickets available. But right now, we're going to have more of this coming up later on in the show, but right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them to find out what's going on in local news.
Emergency crews were called to a two-vehicle collision on 50th Ave and 52nd Street at around 2:30 this afternoon. It appears an SUV and semi-truck collided at the intersection. No other details have become available to us, but we have contacted the RCMP and we will give you more information as it becomes available. And the snow is now here to stay, and winter tire season now is in full swing, and we wanted to find out how the roads will be affected. As we have seen slippery conditions on Highway 16 and other busy roads in town, the city says those streets are the top priority for city snowplows.
So the categories that we have are our primary roads, which, where would be your 16 and 17, and also then we would branch out from there into your collector roads. So we would start with those, we would go into our secondary and then into our collector roads, and of course the residential streets would be our last priority.
Another question that has been raised is when seasonal parking bans will be enforced and what to be wary about when they become in effect.
If we're doing snow removal and we've asked for complete removal of vehicles, we'll have no choice but to remove vehicles. However, most times that we'll get it with a warning ticket or a ticket. We only remove vehicles when we have to.
To find out more on when parking bans will be in effect, you can head to lloydminster.ca. And on November 11th, bells across Canada will be ringing. To mark 100 years since the Armistice on November 11th, 1918, the clock tower bells and church bells will ring approximately 100 times at 4:30. Bells of Peace was developed by the Royal Canadian Legion and amulets the moment in 1918 when church bells across Europe tolled as 4 years of war crime came to an end.
Grandfather, I miss him a great deal, and he didn't talk about the war, as I'm sure many people in families and generations, and we can ask our own vets. It's something that's hard to describe, and this is just one way to pay respect to that.
CP Rail will stop every train in North America at 11 a.m. for 1 minute, and at 11:01 they will ring their bell. The Alberta government has announced big changes to post-secondary schooling across the province, including 1 more year for the tuition freeze. And for what this means for Lakeland College, Brendan College has more.
Alberta will extend the tuition freeze for a 5th year, with other changes aimed at keeping tuition affordable. The Ministry of Advanced Education will soon be able to regulate mandatory fees and international student tuition. But for international students, things may be more complicated. Tavleen Kaur is an international student herself and VP of Student Affairs. She's only allowed to work 20 hours a week while studying abroad.
It's not productive. So if we're going to work like 20 hours a week, you just make like $1,500 a month, and then paying that much in like $8,004 a month.
International students' tuition were left out of the tuition freeze, which saw them spike across the province. Despite this, they've tried to make it work.
They're kind of okay with it. Like, it does hurt when like you have to pay 8 Gs, but you see somebody standing next to you, like a domestic student next to you, just paying like $2,500 or something. It does hurt, but it's worth it. I would say it's worth it because when the students get through it, they're happy with it.
Scholarships are available for international students to help cover the cost of education, something the college has been very mindful of.
We at Lakeland right now have been very careful and cautious on how we've risen tuition.
Lakeland's president, Dr. Wainwright Stewart, says they've been upfront about any changes for students' expenses, just like the province has been during consultations.
This government has informed us, and we know some of the things. We may not always like some of the things, but they have identified what they're trying to do to help.
Another big change in store for the college will mandate 2 student representatives on their board, something that they look forward to.
Then it represents both of our campuses. We have a student for both campuses, so.
Thanks to provincial backfill, Lakeland has been less impacted by the freeze entering its 4th year and will be open to any changes as they come.
The college remains committed to putting their students first and making sure that those paying to learn here aren't hit with any surprises. For Primetime Local News, I'm Brendan Collins.
Lloydminster Public Schools are looking to make sure kids stay away from the screens over the break. Each student in grades 1 to 3 will be provided a bingo card, and these cards have different activities to get families interacting in the community.
We would like students to work on literacy skills because it's so important in their lives. And so if they get to work with their family on it over the break, it just gives everyone a chance to kind of shut off their screens, build some time into their family life to work on reading, writing, and word work skills.
This is the 2nd year the bingo is being done due to the overwhelming positive response from last year. The kids really enjoy the activity.
Games, you get to do fun stuff, and I'm really excited for the one where you use shaving cream, and I think I'm going to use my dad.
The Lloydminster Public School Division is encouraging all families to participate and enjoy the family time. And now we're going to head it back to Brittany, who is at the Legion for the fashion show.
The Downtown Fashion Show gets underway soon, and I'm joined by Dawn Hames, who's here. She's one of the organizers, and this is the 5th show that they've been putting on. Now, why is this so important for Lloydminster?
This is a fabulous fashion show that we hold downtown, and historically it has been pretty well all downtown businesses. There's a few businesses that are outside of the downtown that get involved, but it's a big fashion downtown event. Right now we have the models are starting to arrive. There's makeup artists upstairs that are doing makeup. We've had the Lakeland College of Hairdressing do hair, as well as some of the local salons. There's still a few tickets for sale. So if anybody wants to come down, just come down and enjoy the show.
And tonight we are also making a donation. There's a charity that some funds are going to go to, and we are going to tell you about that a little bit later on in the show. It does get started at 6:30 is the show, but there is a tea beforehand at 6 o'clock.
Yes, it kicks off at 6 o'clock with a high tea, and then the fashion show follows at 6:30.
Fabulous. Well, we're going to have more here from the Downtown Fashion Show coming up later on in the show, but right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with Michaela to find out what's going on in the rest of this week's forecast.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Currently sitting at -12 here in the border city. Gonna feel like -22 overnight. Quite chilly, and those flurries, we have a 30% chance that those could continue into the overnight. As we look to our satellite radar there, lots of cloud cover, and as you can see, those patches of precipitation as they make their way from the west in. And then as we look to our watches and warnings, no watches and warnings, so we don't have any snowfall in effect, which is great. But those light flurries are going to continue into the overnight. -12 here in the border city, -11 in Edmonton, -9 for Edson, -5 for Jasper. And then as we move up the map, a little cooler, -11 sitting in Whitecourt, Athabasca also at -11. And same with Cold Lake. Meadow Lake also sitting at -11, -10 for Prince Albert, and -10 for Melfort. And then -11 in Saskatoon. For our broadcast region, currently sitting at -12 for North Battleford, dipping down 1 degree overnight, but factor in the wind chill, going to feel much cooler than that -13. Tomorrow, daytime high of -8 degrees, so it's going to feel quite chilly. Cold Lake currently sitting at -11, dipping down to -13 overnight as the clouds start to clear, and then tomorrow only a daytime high of -8, and Going to feel quite chilly with that wind chill in effect. Currently -12 here in the border city, dipping down to -14, but into the overnight going to hit more like -17 to -22 once you factor in that wind. So if you are, and it's still going to be that chilly in the morning. Tomorrow though, -9 for the daytime high. And as we look to our 3-day trend, gonna be -1 on Thursday, so we are gonna warm up just a bit. -16 though for the low, and then Friday -5, -18, and we could see some more flurries coming into play, unfortunately, but I'll have more details on that coming up a little bit later in the show, including a look at our 7-day forecast.
Time now for agriculture news and time to talk about the future. And if you ask a generation next, they'll tell you the future is now. I find out how some 4-Hers are building their skills as they show off their animals.
Seeing youngsters winning accolades for their ag achievements is well balanced with a look at all the hard work leading up to lifting the trophy. 11-year-old Madison Goodfellow says her cow Specky weighs about 1,500 pounds. Specky has already had her first calf.
Yeah, she got 2nd overall in her cow-calf. 4-H is really fun. You can do a bunch of different activities.
.4-H kids represented themselves well at this year's Stockade in Lloydminster.
4-H, it's awesome. You get to do all sorts of stuff, not just showing cattle, but riding your horse, doing arts and crafts, cooking. It teaches you so much.
12-year-old Ramsey Fleesick has been in 4-H since he was 7 years old. He's also into hunting and hockey.
St. Louis Blues.
Really?
Teddy Bear's his calf, his heifer is Omega, and his cow is Show Off.
Getting them ready is most of it. Using the sprays, getting their hair combed up, getting them looking full.
Ramsey got first with his 2-year-old cow and reserve champ overall with his cow-calf pair. These kids are keen on their winning ways.
I won lots with her, and then I thought maybe I could win some more here, too.
12-year-old McKenna has been in 4-H since she was 7. She brought her 2-year-old cow to the show and finished 2nd in her class. All of these kids intend to make a future in agriculture.
Showing cattle.
Showing cattle. That's our agriculture news. Elise comes back in just a little while, checking out the sporting action. Let's have a look at those ag prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
And now we're going to pass it back to Brittany, who is live at the Legion for the fashion show.
Kazda Allen joins me here, and she's one of the models getting ready here backstage. Now, how many times have you walked in this show?
Well, this is my, I think, 3rd year walking in this show. It's honestly such a great experience, and donating my time and raising money, honestly, it's so amazing, and I think everyone should be here.
And I know you've done a lot of traveling with your modeling, but how does it feel to be here in Lloydminster and getting to get back to your community and, you know, have a lot of your family and stuff in the crowd?
Well, honestly, it's a really good, because my family can't travel with me a lot because, you know, costs. But then, them being here, it just warms my heart, knowing that I have all these support from my friends, my family.
And so the models are back here. They're getting ready. Hair and makeup is getting done. They're getting all of their outfits lined up. So you're going to be modeling a number of pieces today. What kinds of things are we expecting to see you in? What kinds of different looks?
Well, for first, that I'm starting in my opening piece, which is just presenting myself, and then there's things like outdoor wear, work wear, Christmas party outfits, and honestly it's so great. And like, you could go to the beach and some of these things, you can go on a vacation, you can go in winter time and just look great.
So there are still some tickets available if you are looking to come down, and you can get some different ideas for some different looks. Now, do we have some first-time models here tonight? Do you know?
I'm not too sure, but honestly, even if it's your first time or you've been doing it a million times, it's still a great experience to have.
Excellent. So doors do open at 6 o'clock. There is going to be a high tea, and then 6:30 p.m. is when the fashion show is going to get underway with a variety of looks from resort wear to career wear, casual wear, a bunch of different things here, and it's all for charity. So make sure you come down if you are sitting at home and interested in giving back and taking a look at what some of our local shops here in Lloydminster have to offer. But right now, we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them to find out what's going on.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Good weather to take in some high tea, warm yourself up. Currently sitting at -12 here in the border city with that wind chill in effect overnight. It is going to get much cooler. I'll have those details in just a minute here. Vermilion also sitting at -12, -11 for Vegreville, also in Edmonton sitting at -11. As we move up the map, a little cooler, -12 in St. Paul, -11 for Bonnyville, -11 also in Cold Lake and Lac-La-Biche. -12 for Pierceland, and as we move over onto the Saskatchewan side, sitting at -12 in Macklin, -12 also in North Battleford, and then as we move up the map, a couple of -12s there as well. As we move up north, though, sitting around the same temperatures, -11 for Buffalo Narrows, -10 for La Ronge, and -9 currently in Flin Flon. Grand Prairie sitting at -11, a little bit warmer, not by much, at -10 in Slave Lake, -14 in Peace River, one of the cooler numbers. And then as we move up the map just a little bit, -10 for Fort McMurray. Taking a look down south, little bit warmer down there, -6 for Lethbridge, -9 for Medicine Hat, -8 in Calgary, and then Kindersley sitting at -12, -13 for Swift Current, and then -11 in Regina. As we look to our numbers tomorrow, going to be warming up just a little bit. -9 for the daytime high here in the border city, -9 also in Vermilion, a little bit warmer as -7 is expected in Vegreville, -6 for Edmonton. Provo's going to hit -7 tomorrow, and also in Macklin. -8 for North Battleford tomorrow, -10 for St. Walburg, and then -8 for Meadow Lake. Now taking a look at this wind chill over the next 48 hours, look at that. We're sitting in the pink, which is that -20 to -28 range. That wind chill overnight is going to feel like around -22 to -25 into the morning hours, so you are going to want to bundle up, plug in the vehicles, and definitely if you have a car starter, you're going to want to utilize that. Taking a look now for the kids who are off to school tomorrow, going to be at -12 at 8 a.m., but factor in that wind chill, going to feel much cooler than that. -11 over the recess hour, lunchtime -9, and then home time cooling to -10. We are going to expect a lot of cloud cover to continue in throughout the next few days. So tomorrow, reaching a daytime high of only -9, -10 for Thursday, -16 for the low there. Friday, we have a 61% chance we could see some flurries, much like we were seeing today. -5 for the low, -18 though, -5 for the high, -18 overnight low. Saturday, 25% chance precipitation, so we should hold off on the flurries there. -5, -7 for the low. Sunday, we're going to have a little bit of sunshine as it continues into next week's work week. -8 there, -13 for the low. And then Monday, we have a 55% chance we could see some more flurries. The snow is here to stay. -7 for the low on Monday, -18 on Monday as well. And then Tuesday, 0 degrees, so at least we're going to border on that freezing mark there, and then -11. That's been a look at your 7-day forecast.
Lily Bellin joins me now from the Snowflake House Respite Foundation. And this is a new service, recently new to Lloydminster. I myself didn't even know about it. So share with our viewers at home where a bunch of the fundraising money tonight is going to go to.
Okay, so Snowflake House Respite Foundation is a grassroots local organization that provides respite services. So it's like specialized childcare for kids with special needs in the community and within 100 kilometers of Lloydminster. And we basically go into the clients' homes and look after their children there, or we take them out in the community and we do fun things with them.
And now you yourself, you said you have a 19-year-old son with autism, and this kind of what inspired you. You saw the gap in services here in Lloyd.
Yeah, that's right. When our son was little, we had great services at times, and at times we went sometimes months without any services at all. And so we just felt like families needed to have the opportunity to have good services.
And now tonight, some of the fundraising money, what is that going to go to help you at the foundation do?
Well, currently we're actually fundraising for the other half of a van. We have a van grant waiting for us to finish fundraising for that, and so we're fundraising towards that. And then, as always, like even just the community service fees, so things like going to the pool and things like that, that we cover for parents out of our pockets. So.
And how many different families access some of these services here in Lloydminster?
At any given time, we have between 15 and 20 families, and it just depends. It's very short term sometimes. Some of our families are only for 3 or 4 months, and some of them are for several years. It just depends on their families and their funding.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Lily. So some of the proceeds from tonight's fashion show are going to go to help benefit this great cause. And we are going to have more coming up later on in the show, but right now we're going to head back over to the studio and check in with them to find out what's going on.
All right, well, big day for our neighbors to the south. Election day, midterms, and I feel like this election is something as Canadians we probably, majority of people didn't really pay attention to, but I feel like all eyes are on the states tonight. So that was our question of the day. Are you interested in the election results? We did put out a poll, and actually 55% of you say, yes, I am interested. 18% say somewhat, and 27% say no.
Not at all.
I don't know, do you guys notice a shift this year, especially with these elections?
I think so. I think most people are just kind of, whether they're very involved in what's going on in the States, I think regardless, people are watching and paying attention more than they had before.
Yeah,
for
certainly.
Sure.
And I mean, on this side of the border, it goes without saying, I mean, the biggest trading partner in the world of agriculture and so on. It's a big issue there. And even folks are talking about the legalization of marijuana and what that means crossing the border. All of those issues are weighing on folks' minds as this election,
and of course, steel and aluminum tariffs are obviously a big contender in this, where the vote will lie. A lot of people on our Facebook are saying yes, and as Deanna says, yes, we should, as they are our closest allies, and there could be more tariffs depending on which way the vote goes tonight. So you still have time to weigh in on our question of the day. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but right now we're going to change gears to our pets of the day. And there's a little bit of a theme today. All of them are almost wearing something. This is Noelle. Noelle with the glasses. She does not have 20/20 vision, apparently. This was sent to us by Belinda. Super cute. This is Ray. This is their, they bring him on for show. So very handsome little guy there. That's sent in by Taylor. This is Nellie. Nellie celebrated her birthday on the weekend, so she got a little party hat that was sent to us by Carrie. Next up, we have Cletus. Cletus looks very thrilled.
Looks like a bear.
Hat. Yeah, this is sent to us by Jenny. And last but certainly not least, look at this. This is Ellie, who's very excited to have a little baby sister, and that was sent to us by Kiana. If you would like to see your pet here on Primetime Local News, make sure you send us a photo and please include their name. And if you do see them here on the show, you will be entered to win a $50 gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
All right, well, it is our favorite time of the week. It is Pet Project time, joined by Becca Lawrence from the SPCA, Lloydminster and District. Thank you so much for bringing these adorable kittens in. We've had basically the whole office come and stop by to say hello. So let's start off with the one that you're holding. He is just a little thing of velvet. He is so cute.
Yes, this is Corvus, and he's a part of a crew of 7 other kittens.
So they came in. So he's a bit of a nervous Nelly. They didn't really have a lot of interaction before, so that he's still learning a bit more. But yeah, he's about 9-10 weeks old. He's neutered, vaccinated, ready to go to his new forever home.
All right, so he's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
he is curious, so he's definitely likes to explore.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's purring right now.
There we go. And we have another gray kitten. I am holding Gyro. Super cute. I mean, I just got to hold him up because he is a tiny little fluff ball.
Yeah.
Super cute. So what can you tell us about this little guy?
He's about the same age. He's about 9-10 weeks old as well too. He just went for his neuter yesterday. As you can see, he's ready to go and explore everything. But yeah, he's came in with 2 other siblings and their mom. So she's at the shelter as well too, still waiting for her spay. But otherwise, his one other sibling's at the vet right now, getting ready to go, and otherwise they're ready for their new home too.
All right, and you guys have had a few ones come back from foster, so they're now available for adoption.
Yes,
so.
yeah, they're all from foster.
And you guys have an adoption event coming out this weekend. If you're not interested in one of these guys, you guys have other cats. So can you tell us about the event that's happening this weekend?
Yeah, so that's just this weekend at PetSmart. So it'll be on Saturday and Sunday between 1 and 4 p.m. both days. So I'll be there with some of our adoptable kitties. We currently don't have any dogs that are ready to go, but we'll have our kitties there and ready to go, and all the kitties that are also housed there as well will be there ready for adoption as well.
Perfect.
Too.
And you said some of this guy's siblings are
Yeah.
there?
So the one other one, he does have someone waiting on him, but probably him and his sibling I might take this weekend as well too.
Oh, awesome. Oh, man, come on. This guy is he is so cute. Also, I mean, I'm just too distracted by this guy. You guys, all the puppies that we featured on last week's Pet Project have all found homes.
Yes, they are all gone to their new homes. So we do still have a couple more from other litters coming in right now too. But yeah, all those 7, they have found all their new forever homes.
Awesome. That is so great to hear. And we will talk next week, but you guys have some more adoption events coming up, and you guys will be out in the community. So want to thank you so much for coming in and featuring, these adorable little floofy guys. So if you're if you're interested in adopting either of these guys or any of the other cats at the SPCA, you can also go online, correct?
Yeah, online, LloydminsterSPCA.com to view our adoptable animals.
Awesome. And it's a fairly easy process when you want to adopt.
Oh yeah, it's only, I would say, probably about 20 minutes max, unless we're chatting, and it can be a little bit longer. But yeah, 20 minutes, we just fill out some paperwork, ask you a few questions, and you can take them home the same day.
Awesome. All right, well, someone go adopt this guy, because or else I will, and I don't think my cat will be too pleased about that. So thank you so much, Becca, for bringing these guys in. Always appreciate it, and we'll see you next week for another Pet Project.
Perfect.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.
I'm Courtney Ray from 93.7 Wayne FM and Boom 101.9, and here's what's happening in the Wainwright area. This Friday, November 9th, Encompass Credit Union will be hosting their annual Red Friday breakfast. Join them from 7 to 9 a.m. at the Elks Hall for a pancake breakfast, with all proceeds going towards the Soldier On Fund. Donations are a minimum of $3, so start your Friday off with a great little breakfast that also helps out a great foundation. Right now, you can get in on the annual Operation Christmas Child Shoebox campaign. Many local businesses, including Armstrong's, the Co-op, and Jack's Place, have shoeboxes ready for you to fill. Once you have it filled, you can drop it off at your dollar store and more or Prairie Vision. Collection week is November 12th through 16th. On November 7th at the Alumni Hall Theater at Lakeland Vermilion College, William Yap will be hosting Coming Out Stories. There will be many speakers sharing moments that led to their coming out and the challenges they've faced since. The event is open to the community, as this is meant to be an enlightening experience that helps bring acceptance within the surrounding community and foster support. That starts at 7 p.m. If you have an event you would like us to feature on What's Happening in Wainwright, please email us at waynefm@newcap.ca.